Are we live?
Yes, we are. Oh my
So,
gosh, we're back. Okay, we're getting interrupted. We're serious. All right. So you ready?
no.
Okay. Platinum record this, viral record that. I'm making so much money. I'm all over the net.
Dochi.
Oh my gosh, I'm moving so fast, no time to process. And no, I'm not in a gang, but I'm always on set. Wristwatch, drip drop, labels want the TikToks. Now I'm making TikTok music. What the fuck? I need a cleanse, need a detox, but we ain't got time to stop. The charts need us.
Yeah, that's Dochi.
Okay. What
yeah,
is it?
That's Denial is a River.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. I mean,
Shout out to Dochi, man.
shout out to Dochi indeed.
4 Grammy nominations.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder when the Grammys is.
Yeah. I think well, it goes without saying that that one was pretty easy. I mean, it's the song is all over the place, and honestly, it's been in my head all day, which is why I picked it.
The Grammys are in February 2nd.
Oh, okay, so it's coming up. It's coming up after we get through the month of January, aka the longest month of the fucking year.
Yeah.
It's just long. It's gonna take 3 more weeks to get out of this, but we not rushing it because we just got here, baby. Welcome back, y'all.
What's up?
It's the One Thing for Certain podcast.
What day is it? What year is it? What time is
it? It's 2025, motherfuckers. We here. Yes. We made it. Okay. Yep. God is good. To God be the glory. Yep. We here. Yep. Okay. Happy New Year's, you guys. Like, we're so happy to be here. And for those of you who are coming back to see us in the new year, we appreciate you. We heart you, okay? Like big heart. Aggressively heart you. With your consent, of course. But yeah, man, we're here. We're here. We're so happy to be here. We've missed y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. We have. I enjoyed the break. Yeah. But I missed you guys. I have, talking to our internet friends, our little corner of the internet, our safe haven, okay? Yes. Yeah, but taking it from the top, for those of you who do not know, this is the One Thing for Certain podcast where I, Alia King, and my husband,
Kara King,
we talk about all the things that married people like to talk about, honey. And just in case you don't actually know what that entails, let me be the one to tell you. It is essentially a specially crafted brew, okay, of whatever it is we ourselves like to talk about. And you just get to listen to it. Isn't that something? So, yeah, if you're into that, if you like it, if you think to yourself, I can rock with it. If you think to yourself, hey, I just want to see this cute puppy again, click that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Go ahead and follow us on all of the things, One Thing for Certain pod. And come back and see us and giggle and kiki with your favorite married friends, okay? Rolo, we should have say hello. Okay. Say hi, Rolo. Hi. Say hi to the people, Rolo. Rolo actually doesn't make a whole lot of noise. Like, he doesn't bark on command or anything like that. Like, most times
he will jump up here.
He will. He's gonna pop up because one thing he does love is his pets, and he loves kisses. Okay, Puddin', you gonna get down? All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Lay down, baby. Thank you so much. He's really okay. That down, boo. Okay.
You must have learned from Eden.
Listen. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it with our current obsessions.
Yeah, you want
take it away, babe. Take it.
Yeah, well, I'll do a quick. I know we have the agenda, but I'll do a quick one. Rediscovering music. This first day back at work was this week, and it was actually the second day back at being in the office. It was a little bit more hectic than it got hectic over the days. Over the day got kind of later in the day.
Yeah, it got progressively more hectic for you at work.
Thank you for
of course
that.
I got you.
And I was listening to, like, trying to catch up on my NBA, like, recaps and stuff. And I just wasn't working as
Yeah.
it normally would. So I started listening to two things. I was listening to SZA's Lana album, the deluxe of SOS. Um, and then I started listening to Fall Out Boy.
Come on, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I went
That's a
back.
throwback.
Yeah, I went back and listened to Fall Out Boy.
Which
and
song? Which
the
song made you
album,
fall back into Fall Out Boy?
Well, the names of their songs are kind of weird,
Yeah.
but there was it's an album in particular that is just, to me, like a complete classic. Foley I Do. It's the album. I'll put the album art here, but it's the album with the bear.
Oh, that's
Classic.
a classic.
Because there's 3 albums they had in a row that
Yeah.
are just like bona fide, just ridiculous. Like,
They
it's
had
like-
a solid
yeah.
like tenure
Yeah.
in my high school.
I'm talking about
like
like
days.
no skips, 3 albums.
Wow.
No skips.
3 albums.
But
skips.
this album it was fantastic. It did exactly what it needed to do,
Yeah.
which is ironic because it's rock music. But
I mean,
the
rock music
melodies-
can get you locked in.
Yeah, the melody
It really
was,
can.
Was cool, man.
Yeah.
So, but then the other thing that another current obsession is these damn California fires.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all.
Hopefully by the time y'all see this, it'll kind of be over with the destruction, but
I
it
mean-
don't look like it's gonna stop.
There's been nonstop fires for going on 72 hours now. There's 5 separate fires
Longer. It's 4
happening.
days, I think now.
Yeah, happening at the same time, like simultaneously,
Yeah.
in California. And our condolences and prayers and
out.
all of those things go out to the people of California, LA.
12,000 structures have turned to ash and rubble. Killed at least 11 people so far. Displaced hundreds of thousands.
hundreds
of
of
people.
thousands.
It started on Tuesday. Today's Friday, so
Mhm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 4 days now.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
Shout out to all the first responders, all the firefighters, everybody
Yeah.
working literally around the clock. They are
I
exhausted.
can't imagine, man.
I mean, it's really insane. I've been watching footage and like coverage of it, and the winds that are essentially
It's like 80 mile per hour. wind.
yeah making these fires spread as fast as they are nearly hurricane level fires. Excuse me,
Oh,
winds. And so there was this one newscaster that we saw when they panned to her. It looked like she was in one of the levels of hell. Okay, it looked like she was in a mixture of like Mad Max and like Constantine the movie. Like the wind was insane. It looked like a tundra of fire
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
her.
It looked like the devil is building a subdivision. That's what it looked like. That shit look crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hellish planes coming to a
That's what I'm saying. They
community
just bought
near
it.
you.
It's
Like
like-
he just bought a plot of land.
Right from under you, because
Yeah, because he's Satan, and decided to build his condos of fire.
fam.
It's horrific. People are losing their entire livelihoods, their homes,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, in like you said, a number of cases, their lives themselves. Like it's awful. One thing that I feel as though is like incredibly evident is that no matter who people want to blame, whether or not
They wanna
these
blame Biden,
fires,
they wanna
they want to
blame Biden.
they want to blame their political officials and resources and things like that. The really humbling reality is that Mother Nature don't give a single damn. Okay, it really is. Like you know what movie used to scare the crap out of me, because I truly did believe that if she wanted to, she could just be like, nah, I'm gonna power wash this thing. The what is it, The Day After Tomorrow? That one movie,
Interesting.
like those dystopian films about
Big deal.
incredibly
2012.
cataclysmic
Dante's.
like natural disasters and events. There's no defense. Like I was listening to ABC News, their live coverage of the wildfires, and one of the guys asked the firefighter, like, if you guys had all of the resources, all of the manpower, and all of the materials necessary to fight this fire, do you think it would have made a difference? And he basically was like, no. This is a firefighter who's been doing this for like over 30 years. He's like, this is the worst fire I have ever seen. Mm-hmm. He said, and again, that's where we got the reference of the, nearly hurricane level winds. He was like, we're battling a hurricane with fire. Yeah. Like, it's maddening. I saw someone, and whether or not, this is, true, or like, we'd have to fact check, obviously, but I was on TikTok and I saw someone saying that the part that people really are not like processing is the quickness of which these fires are spreading. He said something to the effect of like,
it's alive.
12 football fields. Like they are traveling at, no, he said over 12,000 acres has already been like burned, right? And he said
300 structures
right
have been damaged or destroyed. And that's just the Pacific Palisades part.
It's
the most destructive fire in Los Angeles history.
Yeah. And so he was saying that these fires are traveling at a speed of about 5 football fields a minute. So quickly that people who are trying to evacuate by car and are stuck in traffic had to flee their vehicles and run from the fire on foot. I promise you, I can't see a fire encroaching in my rear view mirror. I don't know. It's nuts. I couldn't imagine living through what thousands of people are currently living through. Like, tons of celebrities' homes have been lost. Not that their homes are any more important than anyone else's, but I think a lot of times we feel as though they are like they somehow live separate from us, simply because like their financial reality is one that we could never imagine. But at the end of the day, a fire don't care who you are, how rich you are, it will get you up out of here. And Paris Hilton's house gone. Yeah. Tina Knowles, Mama Knowles house gone. Janelle Aiko house gone. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, Paris Hilton found out her house was on fire.
While watching the news.
While watching the news, she found out about that on TV. It was like, is that mine? Hey, yo.
That's my crib, bro.
Yeah, and that's a terrible way to find out.
I couldn't.
It kind of makes you think about America and natural disasters, and how for some reason we're in the geographic like positions of where each state is in our nation and stuff like that. You look at whether it's like the South and Florida when they have hurricanes and heavy rains and things like that, or you look up north, or even Georgia had some snow. We are never really equipped to handle the natural disaster that is almost imminent to happen in that particular
region
because of the geography of that place. For example, middle of America, there are tornadoes, and I know tornadoes are tornadoes. What are you going to do with a tornado?
You can't.
But they never really seem to have a good way of detection. It's always kind of late. People want to stay. You look at Oklahoma City and stuff like that, where it's just kind of decimates in minutes.
Right.
Tornadoes.
You'll pick your house smooth up,
pick that up, and
put it over there.
Over desolate. And so I just found that kind of interesting, because whether it's Hurricane Katrina, they just not giving a damn, or however, they just not being equipped. Whether it was in Georgia when we were in college, and there was there was a snowstorm 2 years in a row, and it turned into snowpocalypse in Georgia. The fires in California this time around, all of the hydrants are dry. They don't have any water.
They don't have any water.
This doesn't make any sense. Whether you look at Florida and some of the hurricanes and stuff that they go through, there just never seems to be. We're never really ready. There is no
actual defense against Mother Nature. You can do your best to try to mitigate the amount of damage that is inflicted to a certain degree.
But the fact that there's fires and you're aware, this is the natural disaster that has been pinned to that part of our country.
Oh, one of the natural disasters. You got to remember them earthquakes.
earthquakes is another one you can't really do too much about.
You can't do
But-
nothing about none of them, babe. You can't. You cannot. You cannot defend yourself against a hurricane. You can't defend yourself against a tornado. You cannot defend yourself against a wildfire.
Well,
You can
maybe-
try, but depending on the intensity, you can delude yourself into thinking like, "Oh, I have a fireproof building, or I have I have a hurricane proof building." Like we invent things like hurricane clips and certain types of joists and steel members and non-combustible materials,
All of that
except
piss it off.
not just piss it off, is all of these things have limits.
Sure.
All of these things have limits.
Yeah,
You know what don't got a limit? What
wind.
could burn hot.
The wind will keep.
The wind don't care where you at. It'll keep blowing. The fire will just get hotter. Okay. The water will just get more of it. Okay.
I think maybe defend is not the right word. I think contingency. Like there's always this like, oh, we don't have enough money for this. Oh, FEMA's broke. Oh, it just always seems like we never have a good, when everything settles. You look at the home insurance that's going on over there. This big debacle over the last couple of months. Home insurances have been canceling their plans for people's houses, their fire and stuff like that. I saw something on the news where a lady, saved her parents, and their parents' house wasn't affected, thank God. But like the insurance people canceled their fire insurance or whatever months before. And, there's statistics around how much 12 of, I think the major 12 insurance companies canceled people's fire insurance months before, and it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird pattern that keeps happening in this country where you can be proactive.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
For natural disasters,
Correct.
but when things settle and when people have to rebuild, all of these people have lost their homes, and you mean to tell me that they're just asked out because the insurance companies just decided to see the future and not have cancel their fire insurance and stuff like that? I don't know, man. The same thing happened in New Orleans.
The same thing just happened in Hawaii with those wildfires.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like
Puerto Rico. There's never really, I don't know. I don't know if that's maybe an American thing or if it's a first world thing or if it's just this side of the planet. But we don't really seem to give as much of an F as we should.
I just think that whenever nature shows its power, and I mean nature in all sense of this word, I don't just mean natural disasters. COVID-19 was a very rude awakening as well. Okay, we got bodied by a virus. But I'm saying I don't know if we can adequately create a plan that would defend us against any of those things substantially.
We had a plan against COVID. There was a plan. There were things in place for like a virus of that magnitude or a disease of that magnitude, but it was not followed or ignored.
Correct.
By our federal government and administration at the time. And so it literally cost lives.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not refuting that in the slightest. What I'm saying is that when you talk about prevention, right? The intention of prevention is when the disaster meets you, you have enough resources and you have created a plan to keep it from affecting you.
You shall not
at
pass.
all. Right. Big Gandalf energy. You shall not pass. What I'm saying is that the planet has a way of anteing up, like running up the skull, on us every single time. We think that we're prepared based off of the last disaster, but because of our influence, because of global warming, and literally every single year the planet is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and our ability to intervene and mitigate our effects on it will have unintended consequences that we are not prepared or equipped to deal with.
Yeah.
And that's just where we're at. And I just don't know We can have this conversation until we're blue in the face. But if a 200-foot tidal wave comes off the coast and decides to wash away a city, what kind of plans could you put in place to prevent that from happening?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, there's a video of this. I think it might be a good metaphor for this. There's a video of a travel group that is like in the middle of wherever gorillas are. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Silverback.
Oh
gorillas,
Lord.
Right. And
The
they're
gorilla.
like, oh wow, look at these gorillas. We're amongst them.
No.
And they feel safe because they have the guides with them and stuff like that. One of the gorillas, and everyone's like, oh, you gotta be quiet. You know, they're walking around and One of these gorillas walks up to one of these white men, grabs him by the leg,
And just drag.
and just walks off with him. Just drags him.
This is mine
With
now.
as if it was a purse, as if he was.
Because what makes you think
As
he
if
isn't?
he was a book bag. He didn't need. There was no.
He said, "Is
string.
this what they call a Birkin?"
He didn't have to rev up for it. He didn't have to pump his chest for it. He just said, "Oh, this is interesting."
Mm-hmm.
Like
He could have very easily have taken that same leg smooth off.
yeah, right at the knee. He could have just went, "Oh."
The same way you break apart the wing from the flat, the drum from the flat is just as easily as that gorilla could have took his leg smooth off of his body.
I feel like that's kind of a metaphor for nature.
Yes.
You just can't.
No.
You can't stop water.
She's been
Water's
here for
coming.
millions of years.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of years. We haven't seen the level of catastrophe that can eradicate entire species off of this planet. We haven't seen it as humans. We done seen real bad flus. We done seen viruses. We done seen coughs.
I mean, natural disasters. You've seen tornadoes. You've seen tsunamis.
Oh yeah, but we have not seen an extincting event.
Yeah.
We just haven't. So
Very,
take that and
very
simmer on it.
peculiar. It's crazy. It's like talking about nature and just how unlimited it is.
She a baddie.
Unrelenting it is.
She don't care.
This is wind we're talking about.
Gusts.
That's all it is. It's just wind.
Just some.
The collaboration is crazy. It's wind and fire
they
getting
teamed
together.
up. It's like it's a mean collab.
Is it Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Whoa. It's the elements now. It's the elements now. Okay.
Don't mean to make a joke of it. It's mind-boggling.
It really
there's no
is.
stopping it.
If it wasn't so horrific, it would truly be like a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
Like it would really be something like off of National Geographic that we would watch and sit down and watch a 3-part series of. But
yeah, man.
yeah,
So
again,
just prayers up.
prayers. Okay. Real quick before we move on, another one I'd like to kind of touch on. There's been so much that happened since we last saw you guys. So we give us a second. But there's a lot of things that happen. I'm gonna just talk real quickly about Jimmy Carter and his homegoing. He done went on to be with him.
16 funerals for this man.
Oh my goodness,
He deserves it. He was a good president.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the few decent human beings that have ever served as our president. Very simple, man.
Simple for real.
Like once he left the White House, he only served one term. But once he left the White House, he went back to Plains, Georgia, and was a Sunday school teacher into his 90s. Okay. He was good and regular. He kept to himself and he was cool. His wife went on to be with him.
77 years of marriage, I think.
77.
I don't even know that math.
And he said, what, I'm good. He held on just long enough to cast his ballot for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And then went on and
he had
took
to call up in heaven though, because he was in and out. I feel like he had an internship or something. Like he was up there and then came back and he was up there. I'm making a joke about it, but his own
grandson, his own family was saying he doesn't wake up every day.
He don't wake up every day.
You don't.
We saw him out there
Yeah.
with his mouth open looking at the clouds.
Yeah, he was powered off for sure. He
Yeah,
was
I'm
definitely
just
on
saying.
idle for a
I'm just
minute.
saying, you know,
Yeah, he was definitely communing. He was
going back and forth. He was like, I'm here now. I'm here.
he was checking out his plot
Yeah.
in heaven.
His house was getting built.
100%.
He was just going back and forth.
He went ahead and closed
Yeah.
on that mansion in the sky, and then went on. He said, "I'm coming, Gloria." Yeah, but God rest
Salute to
them.
Jimmy Carter, man. I think they had 2 funerals in Georgia. They had him lying in state or lying in rest. Or
Yes,
something.
laying in
Capitol.
state at the Capitol. Yeah, which is the what all presidents get. So, child, the tea from all of it was all of the past presidents and sitting presidents all sitting there, in the front to essentially give their
At the
respects.
funeral, yeah, at the Capitol. Yeah.
And child, when I tell you the internet was aflame with all of like the buzz of
This
Obama
happens
and
every presidential funeral now.
someone said this is the closest thing to a Love and Hip Hop reunion we ever gonna get for politics, honey.
Yeah,
When I
Obama,
tell
they all have to
you
go.
the way Kamala looked at Obama and Donald Trump when she heard them conversing,
I think she was looking at Obama.
she
wasn't looking
was.
at Trump.
She was looking at him like, I know you ain't sitting there talking with my ops. It did not look entertained, honey. She was not amused, and they were back there giggling.
I
So what you got to giggle
I
about?
think the whole George Bush and Michelle Obama thing started at a funeral.
It probably, I think it was either at a funeral or it was like an inaugural event. But they do have a really sweet relationship. Michelle talks about it often, that they just have a great rapport with one another. I
Is
think
he
she's
the oldest president now? George Bush might be the oldest. His dad is gone.
Yes.
No. Clinton.
Yes.
Clinton.
Yes.
Clinton.
Dang.
Clinton is the oldest.
Clinton is the oldest living president now?
You guess so.
Are you joking?
Guess so. Jimmy had it for a minute though. Jimmy
Oh,
was 90.
Jimmy was holding
Yeah,
it
Jimmy had
down.
some-
He was 100.
Yeah, because I think a couple of years, I think the last one prior to Jimmy was Bush Senior.
George, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Daddy Bush.
Daddy Bush.
Mhm.
So
Daddy Bush.
man,
Yeah, man. They just getting older and older, and their ears just getting bigger and bigger. You know your ears never stop growing? Your ears and your nose
I learned that recently.
never stop growing. Them ears are large.
Yeah.
George W., that ear is big. I said, wow. Hey, it's really out there.
Obama's ears are already big, so
They were already big. Obese, and he is all
60.
white
You're
now.
already 60 something.
Ain't a nary a black hair left on his head. You might as well call him Storm.
He still got his hairline.
He's got a fade on him.
Yeah.
Don't he? Hey,
That's
that
what I
fox.
do.
That fox, baby. Yeah, man, but that was quite an event.
Rest
So
in peace,
God,
Jimmy Carter.
yes, rest in peace. Rest in peace. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Okay. What we got? Okay, we have a Are We in Like or Love? And this one I'm gonna take solo, babe, because you decided not to partake in the viewership of this show.
Well, I
with
said
me.
once, and you took off.
Oh,
Alright.
because what I wasn't gonna do is waffle back and forth with you, and I really wanted to get into this. So for those of you who have not seen it yet or did not know, season 2 of Squid Games premiered, and I would say I haven't looked at any other reviews or commentary or what have you about it, but I would say that it didn't disappoint. Okay, if the question is, are we in like or love? I'm in love with it.
Wow.
I binged the season, I want to say in about 4 days, right?
10 episodes?
You know what? I don't think it was 10 episodes. I don't think it was 10 episodes. I think it was like 7 or 8. But don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and watch. I wasn't really paying attention to the number of episodes because honestly, I was just like, let's keep it going, right? Gosh, where should I even start? So not to give it away for those of you who haven't already seen it, but if you don't know what the show is, right? Squid Game is a Korean original story in which there are a number of contestants who are approached by a guy who solicits them to participate in what seems like harmless school, like children's school games, for the opportunity of a lifetime to pay off all of their debts. Now, this person who works for essentially this entity that creates these games preys specifically on people who have gambling addictions or are in a crippling amount of debt. They are in incredibly like destitute and desperate situations. And so they are far more likely to, to be tempted by the opportunity to pay off their debts and win a lot of money. What they don't know is that these seemingly harmless, childish games result in death if you lose. Okay, one of the most iconic scenes of the first season is the red light, green light game, one that we have all played, American, Korean, I don't care where you're from, you have heard of red light, green light. And the way that the first season ends, there was a winner, and he then decided that instead of taking his earnings and living happily ever after with his, billions and billions of won that he won,
Korean dollar.
Correct, that he would instead go against the big man and try to put an end to the game. So that's essentially where season 2 starts. It starts with the main character. Don't get me to lying about how to pronounce his name. I'm not even going to insult him like that. But the main character, essentially spending like the next 2 years fighting desperately, sinking all of the money that he has earned into finding the guy who originally like recruited him. He remembers vividly what time of year it was, and basically has people working around the clock to try to find this guy so that he can, either intimidate him, apprehend him, or do whatever he can to grab him and hold him, okay, to try to get a stop to these games. And last bit of spoiler that I'll do, he finds his way back into the games in an effort to save as many people as possible. And it is good. I think it takes a really good deep dive into like, what was that movie that Adam Sandler did? What was it? Rare Jewels or something like that, where he was a jeweler who had a really bad gambling addiction. Uncut Gems. Let's go. Uncut Gems. So when I watched that movie, it kind of illuminated for me, because we see a lot of times depicted in media like substance abuse addiction, right? But very rarely do we see like gambling addiction. These people, the way they look at the money when it falls from the sky into the piggy bank, they look like zombies. They are entranced. They cannot tell like reality. They can't process risk. They only think that they can win. And so even though they just saw 50 people gunned down in front of them, when they see that money falling from the sky that results in their winnings, because each time a person loses, they basically get every person equals 1 million won, right? So the total winnings is like 45.6 billion won, right? Because there's 456 contestants. The conversion on that, yeah, I had to do it as well. But yeah, it's sad. And what it told me very clearly was that there ain't no amount of money that would ever entice me to join these games.
31 million.
No, there is no amount of money. None.
Yeah, that ain't enough.
They anteed up. They anteed it up. They didn't just repeat the same games. Like in this series. The red light, green light is a staple. And so, it
first game?
Yes. Yes, it was the first game again. But after that,
creative.
Wow.
Okay.
There's one game that they played towards the end of the season where I was actually sweating. I was actually sweating because they made, not only are you know that the stakes are very high, but they did things in the games to make everything about it more disorienting, more like unsettling. Obviously they're just kids games, but like they made it like a bit more insidious, and like it was just chilling. And when you realize that like a simple mistake that you have made in this game is going to cost you your life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mm-hmm.
And like you see the realization in the people's eyes once they like
Make that mistake.
once they make the mistake, they know it immediately and they look up and they're like, no, no, no. And it's done. It's just done. Your life is just over. And all of these people have chosen to be here. I mean, now mind you, they do it under the pretense that they don't actually know that their life is in danger. But after you play that first game, you know exactly what it is. You know exactly what it is. So why are you choosing to stay?
Yeah, but I don't. Are they choosing to stay?
Yes. Yes. That's another thing that they implement another caveat in the games that allow the players essentially to repeatedly give their consent to participate, right? And so it's just mind-numbing how many times people just go, one more game, just one more game. And I'm like, y'all are really, they're zombies.
No way.
They're basically zombies. I would have snapped every neck in there.
Was there
Yaga. I would have been the Grim Reaper. I would have just been threatening people. Say yes again. I dare you. I dare you to say yes.
What's the goal of what are you trying to do? Because you're not Harriet. You can't be Harriet Tubman. You're not trying to you just don't want no one to play.
I want to go home.
So go home. You said they can go home.
Well, again, I'm not trying to spoil it, but there is it basically has to be not unanimous, but it has to be enough people.
Substantial.
Correct. So yeah, I'm not cut out for it, bro.
Was there a winner?
That's another thing. The season ends in a cliffhanger. The season ends in a cliffhanger. So you don't get all of it at once. Like it. Ooh, it's a good one. I think you should watch it. I think you should really watch it. I will recommend it. It's a good watch. At the very least, it's a good watch. It's suspenseful. It's entertaining. I obviously watched the dub version because I just don't have time to be doing all that reading, especially with all the action happening on the screen. But it is good. That's why I got a love out of me. I watched it straight through. There was no episode where I was just like, this is a lull. This is boring. And just when you think, even when you start to think like, oh, this is starting to drag, it ratchets up.
Head chop off.
Yeah. Bro, it's ridiculous. I don't love anything that much. I don't love money that much. I don't love you're watching people just die right there.
Yeah.
Getting gunned down by these people in these hot pink jumpsuits and these triangle and square masks. Do, 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 do. That's all you hearing all day. Do, 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 do. Kill me now. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Last thing I'll say, there's these two contestants, a mother and a son.
Oh boy.
The only reason why the mother is in the games is because she wanted the potential to win. Again, they don't know that you could die when they're first brought there. She wanted the potential to win so she could pay off her son's debts. And he was there because obviously he's addicted to gambling and he had debts there.
She just followed him there.
She basically followed her son into the bowels of hell and never apologized for it. There's a scene in there where I saw it and I was like, I literally saw the breakdown that you would have if you were in a place like that with your mom. I saw the mental breakdown happen right in front of my eyes.
Oh, so he felt the way?
About her being there?
Yeah.
Well, initially, yeah, absolutely, because he didn't know. He didn't know because they all come separately.
Got you.
You know?
Got you.
And so you look around the room and you see all these people in green jumpsuits, and then he hears his mom's voice, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "You stupid fool! I came here because I want to pay off the debts." And she's like smacking them up. She's a feisty little thing. Like, she's my favorite character of this season. But like, babe, that one episode that I told you, like it was the game that literally had me sweating on the sofa.
Nah,
it would give you nightmares. It would give you nightmares.
Nah.
It's terrible.
No way.
It's terrible.
I'm gonna watch it now.
You got to. It's good. It's good. It's good. I really enjoyed it. So it's a love out of me. All right, babe. You want to get into a bad opinion?
Sure.
Want to jump into a bad opinion?
So we have bad opinions here, and we also have am I tripping? It's kind of a mix.
Ooh, okay.
But I'll let you do the honors of which one you want.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased. I really do enjoy these Am I Trippin'? So I'm gonna pick an Am I Trippin' first. Okay. Whenever I buy an e-gift card, I send it to my email and forward it to the recipient. After 6 months, oh, I think we read this one already.
Did we? Okay. My bad.
No, it's all good. Let's try again. Okay, cool. So we haven't read this one already. So my pet peeve is being around people who never have cash. Yes, I know there are cash transfer apps and cards, but I think it's crazy not to even have at least $2 on you at all times. Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How old is this person?
My mom does that to me and my sister all the time. No, I have cash.
For what? But that makes sense. Your mom goes back and forth to Jamaica often. She went.
No, man, that don't make sense.
No, well, it makes sense to her. It makes sense to her because of where she frequents, right? And honestly, because of the time she comes from. But like, there are some places that have signs on the door that says we are cashless. Don't come in here with that paper foolishness.
I was out last night.
Miss me with it.
Trying to park. I pull up to the guy. He's like, oh, it's gonna be 10 or 15 to park. I said, cool. And he was like, I take cash. I said, cash? What you mean you take cash? You don't take cash out? He was like, nah. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Nah, he was lying.
What you doing? Like, he was like, oh, where you trying to park? I was like, I'm trying to park down there. He's like, oh, you gotta go to the other guys. I'm like, all right. Yo, he's like, I take cash. I said, cash out? He was like, yeah, I got cash out. I said, come on, bro.
Be for real. Lead with the cash out.
He was bugging back there.
100%. To me, I'm sorry. If somebody tells me, you know what, it's a double-edged sword because if you tell me that you only take cash app, you could be a scammer. But if you tell me that you only take cash, you could literally just be a bum. Like they good for that in Atlanta. You'll literally just have a homeless person stand inside.
I got your car for you. Don't worry about it.
I got you right here. Come on, young blood. Come on, park right here. Yeah, right here. They're staying there and watch you park and everything. Take your $10.
Take your ties and leave.
So stupid. Listen, they will just take your money and get up out of there.
Yeah.
And they'll do it for a couple of people, especially if they see like a little event is going on, and then all of a sudden you see the police come and they run away, and there you go. They your little $10. It's gone. And first of all, if you can get parking in Atlanta for $10, you better take it. You better take it.
Yeah.
Child, because unless you in the parking deck,
that ain't real parking. That's parking in the metaverse. That is not real parking.
That's not real parking. It's not.
I pull up to a QR code. It's not real parking.
Oh God.
Why do you?
If anything, I look for the QR codes. You should show me where I need to go.
Yeah, but that's easy. You bugging.
Yeah, having cash everywhere that you go is silly. But so do you want to do a bad opinion? I'll let you go.
Heart of the cards.
Not the heart of the cards.
A popular song you can't stand. A popular song I can't stand? I'm actually very musically progressive, I think.
Ooh, you think you're okay?
Just a little bit.
Little? Like something that you hear all the time that you were just like...
Well, I mean, I listen to radio, so the song that comes to mind is Snooze by SZA, but I love this. I like this song.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pick Snooze.
Right. When did you genuinely can't stand?
I know there's a song that you can't stand that was also on the radio for a long time.
What?
That Keisha Cole song.
Oh, Love?
Yes.
I can hear y'all whole singing right now. I can hear y'all screaming at the top of your lungs right now. Yeah, I thought
Can't Stand?
Love was very annoying by Keisha Cole.
Think of a song I can't stand.
Basically any Taylor Swift song.
That's hilarious. There is a song that
I didn't love Body by Meg. Body yada 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 yada
That was my
yada
song
yada
right
yada
now.
yada 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 yada. That I wouldn't say I couldn't stand it. I just didn't care for it. But I don't listen to the radio like that, so I wasn't hearing it repeatedly.
There is a song. There is a song that I'm starting to get a little bit uncomfortable with. I thought it was fire at first, and I was like, I don't really like it anymore.
What?
It's a song with Chris Brown, and I don't know the rapper, but it's Are You Up Right Now? It's not Chris Brown's part. It's the yeah. Well, it is the concept of the song. It makes me itch a little bit. But I used to love it. I was like, oh, this song is fire. Chris Brown is on fire. And I was like, you know who messed it up? Ella May messed it. Not Ella. Isn't it Ella May?
I think it's Summer Walker. Right?
She's on that song too. But Ella May has a verse on there because she's like, I'm not doing what you want me to do. I'm faithful. You can't. You're not doing this no more. And that sticks with me. So I'm like, it's like she's the party pooper of the song. Everyone else is with the shit.
Everybody else is down for
with the shit. Ella May said nope.
Nope. I got it.
She submitted that verse and said and
no,
I did.
And I love him. Yeah. So get out of my face.
Yeah, so
Brokey.
I don't know. I can't think of a song. I mean, I'm sure. Again, I feel like I'm musically progressive, so it's gonna be hard for me to pick a hip hop song that I just can't stand.
It's hard. It's hard for me to think of songs that I can't stand
because I don't listen to songs.
I don't listen to music concept. I don't like.
Don't listen. I just don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't have to yell about it or complain or protest.
Facts.
I just don't listen to it.
Facts.
I don't know. Maybe a 6ix9ine song.
No.
I was kind of into that too.
I don't listen to him, so I guess it never. I don't know. I can't think of one.
No, man.
I can't think of one.
I can't.
Okay. Cool. Well, I have a member win.
Okay.
To close it out. So, as Carrick was mentioning earlier when we were talking about like the insane weather that's happening in California, right? The part that's really interesting about what's happening in California is a direct contrast to that the event that's happening there, the wildfires, in compared to the rest of the country, is that like everywhere else is frozen.
Well, the East Coast is frozen. It's a song of Fire and Ice.
100%.
Who will get that reference? I won't say where it's from, but it's a song of Fire and Ice. California's on fire, and the East Coast is frozen.
Bricked.
Pretty much.
Bricked up. Like so much so that we down here in little old Atlanta, got hit with a little dusting of like 5 to 6 inches of snow in some places, right? Yep. I want to say here where we live, we probably had about 1 inch, 2 inches. Of snow in some places, but there are some other places in Georgia that got hit with 6-7 inches of snow, and that is quite abnormal for us, especially in Atlanta. Child, we don't do ice. We see a flurry come out the sky and we shut down school for a week. Everybody's going to work from home. Work is canceled. Prepare the others, honey, because we're not doing it. We're not going out there. We don't know what to do with the slush, the sled, just ice, nothing. We don't know what to do.
And as a person who has experienced the school system in New York, in the Bronx, it's hilarious because ain't no cutting school off. At least not back then.
So get your yucks in.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we are funny. Okay. When it comes to the snow, we don't do it. We don't. Yeah. And so it made me think of like, do you remember your first snow day?
First? Maybe.
Or maybe like either your first snow day or like your best snow day that you had. Because you've had far more snow days than I have. Being a child of the Bronx.
Yeah, I think I have my earliest snow day in mind. It was me and my play cousin Dondre was out in the snow in the Bronx. We was living in an apartment building, 222nd Street, I think. And you want to talk about snow? I'm talking about when they plowed the snow, they would put it all in like a corner.
Yeah.
And so just build this big huge mound of snow that would take weeks to melt.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's insulating itself. It's just getting colder and colder.
Yeah, so
A block of ice.
we would be like jumping off of there and sliding and all this other stuff. And I remember, no matter how much clothes you had on, snow will find its way into your thermal, okay,
Jesus.
into your underwear.
Oh,
and it's
in
cold.
underwear.
Yeah, because you kids, you rolling around in it, you playing with it. You
Yo, we didn't
throwing
care
it
about
at it.
anything as
Nah,
kids.
as long as it was clean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my earliest memory. I don't know, I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. But the more recent one that was pretty cool was when we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
The college one. Now the first one.
That was gonna be mine, yeah.
Yeah, the first one we didn't know each other. I don't think we did, but we didn't. We were.
Well, the snow day that I'm thinking about, our snowpocalypse moment, that was we were definitely together.
That was the second one, because the first one happened when I was a freshman.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
A snowpocalypse or just
Yes.
a snow day?
No, the first snowpocalypse.
I only remember one
We
snowpocalypse.
had 2 back to back, 2 in a row around the same time. You don't remember that?
I remember that there were 2 really bad snow. So the first snowpocalypse, I want to say it was like 2014.
That's when we graduated college. It was.
So it had to be 2013 because it was like a year before.
Yeah, 2012 and 2013.
Okay, I remember the first one that we had. There was one big one where like all of the cars got abandoned on like 85 and things like that.
The first one was crazy.
And then 2 weeks later, we had another snowfall that shut down the city the exact same way. There wasn't as many cars left on the street, but it was still just as bad. And then the next year we had like a similar like little dusting, but it wasn't as bad.
The reason why I know there's a distinct difference between the two is because the first one I was in Howell.
Okay.
With Greg and George and and Tiffany. We were playing cards. That's how I learned how to play Tonk.
Yes.
So that's why.
That's how you.
The second one, we was in your apartment,
chilling,
eating
wings, watching Love and Hip Hop Channel. Just
that's how
laid up.
Totally different experiences.
Incredible. We might as well have been on vacation.
I think what was I didn't want to say.
Yes.
He was there too, right?
Yes. It was
on the couch.
Yes. We had a blast. It was so dope. We didn't even really play in the snow like that. Like we were just locked in, just chilling, no responsibilities, no homework, no school, no nothing. We were out of school for 2 weeks.
Yep.
They said that if there was any more delays to school, that it would push graduation.
Yeah.
And then we was like, nah, for real, stop. Y'all need to go ahead and put these ice on the road or whatever. Like, this has been cool, but quit playing. But nah,
the teachers was trying to still give out homework and stuff.
Oh, we said shut up. Yeah. Because working from home or like distributing assignments via the internet was not really.
Nah, it wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing unless you had an online course.
Right.
You did not have the infrastructure necessary to assign homework.
Yeah.
To your students.
Yeah.
So
now they have that in like middle school.
Oh, because of COVID, they will send you that paper quickly and tell you to have it back in their inbox by the end of the day because you ain't got nothing else to do. Unless you don't have power, you don't have an excuse. Yeah. So, I remember my first snow day. I think the really big first snow I remember having, I was a kid. I lived in Lithonia. It had to be, I know it wasn't the 2000s yet because my brother wasn't born. It was just me and my sister. So it had to be like 98 or something like that. We got, no joke, like 7 inches. So we got like a foot of snow. Yes. We built a snowman in our front yard right next to our little peach tree. Oh, wow. We had like a little peach tree that grew in our front yard. And we built a snowman. We lived on a hill. And so like my driveway was basically the perfect place to have like a little sleigh. Fire. And just, it was, I don't think I've been that excited since. I had never seen snow like that before. And I was like, Daddy, I was begging to go outside, and he was like, but it was just amazing. We had such a great time. It was so cool. But yes, there's something magical about snow days, especially when you're someone who doesn't experience them often. For those of you who live in, like middle America or in northern states, I know Missouri is they had like 13 inches of snow, I think.
Yeah.
In DC, there's like 2 feet of snow
Mhm.
right now.
That's regular for them.
Chicago, I don't even want to know.
Lord, Jesus. Woo.
Chicago gets colder than damn Antarctica, okay?
Yeah, Chicago's
I
different.
don't know what it is about Chicago, but the way they cold operate, it don't make no sense, honey.
Yeah, I'm scared of that.
I'm scared.
Scared of that cold.
I would never. I remember one year. The first time I actually went to Chicago was for a work trip, and the Uber driver that was taking me, he was a really nice guy, and he was like asking like where I'm from. Like, oh, I'm from Atlanta. He was like, oh, so you basically like a home away from home. Also, you think? He was like, yeah, there's a lot of people from the South who's migrated up to Chicago and who have family back in the South, you know. So, but I was saying, I was like, dang, it is so cold. And he was like, baby, this is not cold. I was like, what you mean? He was like, last year it got to negative 30 degrees. I said, excuse me?
Yeah, Chicago got a one up on New York with that one.
They were 62 degrees
below freezing.
Below freezing. I said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. If I ever woke up and the place that I was dwelling in was negative anything, I'm moving.
You've never had a negative?
Nope.
You
I have never experienced, I don't believe, a negative temperature. I thankfully, because of our Vegas trip, I have experienced over 100 degree weather.
100 degree weather.
Now, mind you, people say all the time, oh, Atlanta's hot, Atlanta's hot. It doesn't normally get over 100 degrees in Atlanta.
It's gotten to over 100 degrees in New York a couple times, but
I think in dry heat it's easy to get over 100 degrees. When it's humid, it's hard for it to get that. It's too much water in the air, right? But when you have that dry heat, the temperatures can just keep going up. But yeah, like I think the hottest it's ever been in Atlanta that I've ever experienced is like maybe like low 100s, low 101, 102, maybe on a real crappy day, 108, right? But when we went to Vegas and it was 116 degrees, I was like, this is how? How is anyone alive right now?
On the land.
On the ground.
As soon as we got there.
I said, I walked into an oven. What? But I've never experienced below zero weather, and I don't intend to.
Below zero weather, you feel it in your
bones, in your joints.
No, well, just your extremities. What are these called?
Yeah, your extremities.
That's right. You feel them there first.
No.
Like, you know how sometimes you go out into the cold and you know it's cold, but because you came from a warm place, it takes a second. Like you have like a minute before you really feel cold.
Yeah.
Not negative weather, bro.
Yeah.
Right, negative is zero. Once it hits zero, all that goes out the window. Like you go outside. It
might hurt to breathe, huh? Like unless you have a mask on, it would probably hurt to breathe. Like when you go to inhale, it's like you're getting a brain freeze.
And then you can have that negative weather and it still be snowing and stuff. Like,
nah, B.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We'll be outside for.
But snow is beautiful though.
100% is stunning. I think one of these years I want to go up to like one of those places that get like the beautiful snow, like Vermont. Or something. Like I'd love to go up to one of those places and have like a little cabin, experience. Maybe like a little 5-day John. I'm not trying to be out there all day. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go to Aspen.
I don't have to go to Aspen. I can go to Colorado. I can do a little Boulder trip. You know what I'm saying? I can do a little wherever those other northern places are. Child, don't give me the line.
That is a progressive place.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Gotta put it in the group chat. Y'all know who you are. You know who you are. Yeah, but
yeah, man. Shout out to snow days. You gotta
shout out to snow days.
I remember being even in high school.
It's nothing more jovial than this. That really brings out the childish joy in you.
When it snows during Christmas break, and you in K through 12, like you in like school.
It's special.
It's special to wake up and you got your. I mean, for boys, I don't know. I got the Modern Warfare 2 going on the PlayStation.
Okay.
The windows out there. I remember when I had got my first car, and it was snowing, and it was just parked right outside my window at my mom's house. And I woke up, and I think I had just got it. It was maybe a couple days, and I was like,
I think there are a few things
so
more
crazy.
beautiful as scenery to look outside your window at
oh yeah,
than snow.
snow
I
is gorgeous.
when I was putting Eden down for a nap today, I had his blinds and his drapes open, and like standing in his room and looking out at the windows and seeing like the pine trees with the snow on them. It looked like we were in a different place.
It's fire.
I was like, oh, this is not, that's a view that honestly, like, I think I could get used to. I don't like being in the cold, but again, the scenery of the cold, to look outside your window
Beautiful.
and just see a vista of snow, like just powder white everywhere. Ooh, it's literally my favorite feeling of like that cozy, bundle up. We were in our pajamas all day.
Yeah, and you know, it's a blessing because some, you know, everybody don't have heat. Everybody don't have shelter.
Everybody don't have a roof over their head.
Everyone done lost their mind and went to the grocery store. Some people probably just had to kind of thug it out and just not have nothing to eat. And
We got plenty.
So it's cool, man.
Yeah, when you have everything in it, glory be to God. When you have everything that you need and you really are self-content. We didn't have to leave the house at all today. There was nothing that we needed. We had everything right here. And we will have everything that we need for a while. You know, like I feel like we could survive in here for a week and we'll be straight.
Yeah. And that's not even like a affluence thing. It's just the simple stuff, like just having food in the house. Just makes all the difference.
One thing, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but like it really does keep making me go back to, you know, the people who are in California when they're saying over 200,000 people have been ordered to evacuate. And you think to yourself, like, where are they evacuating to?
Yeah.
I'm talking about people who have lost they have nothing but literally the clothes on their back because their car has burnt up too. You know what I'm saying?
There was a guy on the news. He's a black guy, 84 years old.
84.
His house burned to the ground, and he's had that house for 60 years or something like that.
Jesus. And it's just gone.
This is gone. He was like the Corvette. It's not there. There's no remnants of it. Like
Jesus.
think of like a whole car.
Metal.
It's not there. There's no frame. There's no nothing. There's nothing there. It's like it just disappeared. That's how much it burnt. Like that's how much it burnt down.
Goodness.
Just
yeah.
Complete ash,
they have
man.
nowhere
It's
to
insane.
go.
It's like
no, they don't know where they're gonna put their head down.
And these insurance, like I don't know, having to build that back and not have no support.
It's unconscionable. It's inhumane. It's
right, bro.
It isn't.
That's just.
I think it's a crime against humanity. Frankly,
it is.
It is. I think they should be prosecuted. Any insurance company who would terminate people's insurance policies who are in desperate need, like that's what legislation should really kick in for. It's like, no, you're not allowed to say that you're not covered. Not during national disasters. And they said that the damages are incalculable.
Oh, the last number I heard was like 50 billion or something like that. 50, 60 billion. But
Ukraine got it.
It makes
Ukraine got it.
That's funny.
She do.
Yeah, our money is in a CD over there. Maybe
over there.
I didn't pull that out. You didn't give me.
Let me give you an IOU, bro.
$200 billion.
Bazillion dollars.
Like just, jeez, good lord.
With one of them checks that we sent over there, we could rebuild LA. With one of them checks.
LA, and it's LA. We ain't even no disrespect to no other city in
no
America,
disrespect.
It is LA. Anyway, man. That's what I'm saying. America's weird when it comes on certain stuff.
It's not a real place.
It's weird.
Can't be. All right, y'all. I think we did it. I ain't gonna hold you. I think we did it.
Yep, we did it.
We happy that we did. Listen, y'all, if y'all made it, so glad to be back. If y'all made it to the end of this video, you a real one.
Appreciate it.
You a real one. We appreciate you. And listen, no matter where you go after this, make sure y'all go with God, okay?
Go with God.
It's the one thing for certain podcast people. Peace.
Deuces.